And also in addition, like seeing like you can tell which are not the students because they kind of like, especially like the parents or don't go to A&M, they wear like their rival outfits. I'm not gonna say who or what, but you can tell. But they still they still continue to express like to try all the traditions and such. And I hear them sometimes, and they're like, "Oh, it is pretty interesting how A&M is very like culturally different from other universities, especially with our long-lasting traditions and the Wildcats and such."
Yeah. Howdy, Aggs, and welcome back to On Air with Student Affairs, the podcast that showcases all the ways you can create your Aggie experience right here at Texas A&M. I'm Morgan Miles, and I'm your host, and I am the loudest and the proudest member of the Fighting Texas Aggie class of 2026, AAA. Whoop! And today we are here with Aggie Parent and Family Ambassadors, and we're going to talk a little bit about Family Weekend. So how are y'all?
Good. Excited.
Yeah.
Good. Awesome. So can y'all give us your names, your major, and your specific role?
Yeah, well, I'm Julie Martinez. I am the lead ambassador for our organization, Aggie Parent and Family Ambassadors, and I'm a business hospitality major.
Cool.
I'm Jamie Spriggs, and I am a lead ambassador for Aggie Parent and Family Ambassadors, and I study elementary education.
Cute.
Howdy, y'all. My name is Chapman Cooper. I'm the advisor of Aggie Parent and Family Ambassadors. So I work within student life in the new student and family programs unit. And so I've been working here for about 3 years now.
Awesome. So Chapman, can you tell us more about what you do at Student Life and how your program area supports students year-round?
Yeah. So, and within Student Life, my office does new student and family programs. So we are the office that puts on new student conferences as well as Family Weekend, Howdy Week, and many other different things. My role is a little bit more on the family programming side. So that's why I'm the advisor of the Aggie Parent and Family Ambassadors, because I help with all of family engagement. So we have a family portal that we send information out to all of our Aggie families, as well as daily communication with them. And then we put on programs that support that family bond, such as Family Weekend.
Awesome. So for people that don't know,
Yes.
what are Aggie Parent and Family Ambassadors? And what is Family Weekend? And like, how can Aggies get involved with that?
Yeah.
Well, Aggie Parent and Family Ambassadors is a leadership organization at Texas A&M where it's a group of leadership students bring the families and students to the heart of Aggie land to get the experience of being an Aggie and the full core values to experience that as well. And for Aggie Parent Ambassadors, it's a pretty like fun experience because you meet with the Yale leaders hand in hand, and you get to experience other like past like network with like people that are more involved in A&M and have opportunities like internships, scholarships, and so much more.
And students can get involved with APFA through MSU Open House in the fall and seeing us banner in the fall as well, and reaching out to our Instagram, APFA TAMU.
Awesome.
Yeah, and so the organization has about like 30 people, so we're pretty small compared to other student orgs. But we do a lot of work with our Parent of the Year program as well as Family Weekend to be able to like bring that connection to A&M and the community.
Awesome. So you said there's about 30 members. So what does that application process look like? And is it selective? Is it like open to anybody? Is there like a certain criteria to like apply for it?
So the criteria to be a part of APFA is you can be any class level, like freshmen, sophomore, juniors, or seniors. The requirements do require you to have at least a 2.5 GPA. If you're an incoming freshman, we understand that you don't have a GPA yet, but we'll keep that in mind. And then you have your commitment to being a part of our organization. So our organization right now meets on Wednesday nights at 6:30 weekly. We kind of have a different schedule in the fall because it's our slow season, but the spring is pretty busy. And so we meet weekly then, and then the commitment to be a part of Family Weekend. We do have the Family Weekend dates well in advance because they correlate with the Aggie Ring Day usually. So we have those dates in advance, and you just need to be committed to having we can be busy that week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's jump into talking about Family Weekend because I'm excited and I'm a fan of Family Weekend. So can you give us a little bit of the history behind it?
So the history behind it is that Family Weekend started in 1919 when President Woodrow Wilson issued the national holiday for Mother's Day on university campuses. And so A&M took that and made Mother's Day weekend out of it. And so that's what it used to be called. And then it just changed over time to Parents of the Year weekend. And then now it's Family Weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's where we all just get together and have a moment where Aggies can share their love and passion of Texas A&M and do fun things and different traditions like yell practice and different like tailgating opportunities.
Yeah, I think that's really awesome too. Kind of like you pointed out how it changed from like Mother's Day weekend to Family Weekend because like I think it's also important. Like I don't think people will think about it, but not everybody has like both parents in the home. But like changing it from Mother's Day to like just family in general is so awesome.
Yeah, I had a lot of different names in the past. It was Mother's Day weekend, and then it became open house at one point.
Interesting.
And then in 1971 was when it kind of switched to actually being in April and not being connected to Mother's Day. So then it changed to Parents' Day. And then it changed to Parents' Weekend. And then now in 2017, it changed to Family Weekend officially. So it encapsulates everyone, all the Aggie family. Everyone needs to be there.
Yeah.
So it's a fun time.
It definitely is. I love Family Weekend. So tell us a little bit about like the heart behind this tradition.
So with that, like Family Weekend, it's a way to connect with the university as well. And especially for parents and family, like any family within as an Aggie, you get to experience like how your Aggie, your student experiences every day here. And with that, like me being a first generation, even going to college and being in a big university, my family never graduated college or never experienced like a big university. So when this last Family Weekend, they were just in awe of how big the university is and how it connects to no matter what culture or background you're in.
Right.
I completely agree. My parents were both Aggies. And so when they come to Family Weekend, they're like, well, when I was an Aggie. And they love to say, well, when I was here. And so they talk about how much it's changed. And it feels like my parents call it their reunion when it's technically not. So then it's a sweet memory that we have and we hold near and dear to our heart.
Yeah. I think it's a time that like students, like especially freshman students, are like just learning their routine and how they're transitioning to college. And then it's a great opportunity to invite your family to this one weekend and show that you're all involved with and like how you walk to class or where you have classes or like where you go out to eat with your friends or the organizations that you're involved in. Family Weekend has a lot of different events. Yes, our office puts on signature events, but a lot of colleges and schools put on a lot of different events too. And then organizations, reunions, anything and everything. And also the Corps has a lot of things going on as well.
Yeah. I love how you said that though, how your parents call it like their reunion. Like that is so adorable. And I think it also goes to show that like Family Weekend is not just for like current Aggies, but also former Aggies and how like they get to come back and like cherish those memories that like they've also made at A&M. And like I know it probably is annoying just being like, when I was an Aggie, we did this. Because I don't know why parents like to do that, but they do. But it's like also so sweet because like they're getting to like reminisce and like, you know, remember their time at A&M and how different it was. Because I feel like A&M just is drastically different.
It has
from, like,
evolved so much.
It evolves. The way A&M evolves is just insane. Stuff has just drastically changed. But so let's talk about this Family Weekend because I'm so excited. So can you tell us when it is and what type of events are going to be happening at Family Weekend?
Yes, Family Weekend is April 4th through the 6th this year. And some highlighted events, especially for Aggie Parent and Family Ambassadors, is our very popular event called Music Bingo. And it's very self-explanatory, which is you compete with the musics of from like the 1960s all the way to like present music in different categories, like in movies, rock and roll, and etc. And it's a very fun experience just to see the families just getting together, listening to like different genres of music and competing for like a little prize.
Yes, that's really fun.
And then additionally, there's family yell, which is like at 10:30, which every family that comes can practice as an Aggie doing like their Wildcats and just experiencing the new yell leaders this coming year or this coming
I
like
didn't even
season.
think about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Like,
it's
that's fun.
It's the first time. So it's 10 p.m. yell. It's not at midnight. Yell practice, and it's the first time that the yell leaders are like the new ones get out
to do
there.
their thing.
Yeah, do their thing. Y'all can fact check me on that one, but they get to do their thing and have a little fun and get to be out there. So it's a good time, and it's also good. I think Midnight Yell is a great tradition, so it gets to teach them that little tradition as well.
Another event that our student org puts on is Family Weekend Tailgate, and that's going to be April 5th at noon. It's a free event. Come as you are, come and go. And it's going to be in Aggie Park. It's where families get to experience like life-size games, like big Jenga, big cornhole, stuff like that. And then our student org walks around Aggie Park, passing out free stuff and just welcoming the Aggies.
Yeah, and so we'll have a concert there as well and some food trucks. Aggie Ring Day is also happening this year on the same day, so it's going to be a lot of people
that's
around.
going to be really chaotic.
And so it's going to be a little chaotic,
fun.
but a lot of fun. But fun.
So many Aggie traditions
so
happening
many-
in one general space.
Yes, exactly.
With the Wranglers there too.
Yeah, the Wranglers are coming
yeah,
to make
that's
a
always
performance,
fun.
and so they
I
were a
love it
big
when they
hit
come and
last year.
perform.
They were a big hit last year. So
People love the Wranglers. They are so
Yes.
cool. Shout out Wranglers. They are so awesome.
come
They
on the
came-
podcast.
You're next.
Literally, please come on the podcast. That'd be great. They came. I can't remember what it's for. I think Theta was having a philanthropy event, and the Wranglers came and they like danced in the middle of sorority row, and like people loved it. Like they are so good. So that's really
I'm
exciting.
like holding my breath the entire time.
No,
because-
me too. Because it's like they're getting dangled upside down. I'm like, oh, don't drop her.
I know.
But that's a fun event. So we have yell practice, tailgate. We have some of our events that we are ticketed. So we have brunch, which is brunches on Sunday, and then we also have another ticket event for dueling pianos on Saturday night, which is going to be at the hotel. I don't know if you've heard of a dueling pianos event, but it's two different pianos and they kind of like duel each other out, and you get to suggest different music. And so that's an opportunity for families to go and enjoy that. And then we have the brunch, which kind of just like winds down our family weekend events. But then the core has millions of things going on. So please check our schedule online to see all the things that are going on.
Yeah, I love that. I also love that Midnight Yell is not it's not at midnight. It's at 10.
It's great.
I think that's really cool too, though, because like I think from the outside looking in, people probably think we're like nuts for like having Midnight Yell.
Yeah.
Because like trying to explain it to my family, they're like, why is everybody like screaming in the middle of the night? Like that's really weird.
Yeah.
But like being able to like invite your family and like them experience it for the first time and maybe gain like a different perspective on Aggie traditions. Because I always tell people, I'm like, you can't really give like your opinion on Aggie traditions if you haven't experienced it. Because I was the same way whenever I first got here as a freshman. Because I didn't grow up in a family where like we were A&M fans. So like this was all new to all of us.
Yeah.
And so like it is weird. But then like as I kind of like grew more into like the Aggie spirit and the Aggie family, I'm like, okay. Like you start to understand why things happen. So it's like I always tell people, I'm like, don't say anything yet. You just have to go. And then you can say something after.
Right.
After you go. But no,
So we should
that's
see
really
everyone
fun.
at Family Weekend Yell at 10 p.m. on Friday night.
Yes.
Be amazing.
Yes.
A fun time.
So I know we've kind of talked about just like different things that families can go to, but like why do you think it's important for people to invite their families to come out?
I think it's important for families and friends to even come to Family Weekend, period, because you can see what Texas A&M is all about. Texas A&M is all about core values and traditions, and you see that firsthand through friends and people helping each other and just a howdy while you're walking across somebody at Aggie Park or someone getting their ring for the first time and celebrating them. I think it's really special to see everything going on all at once.
Right.
And it just makes you so proud and just really admirable of this university.
Yeah.
And also in addition, like seeing like you can tell which are not the students because they kind of like, especially like the parents or don't go to A&M, they wear like their rival outfits. I'm not gonna say who or what, but you can tell. But
Should we
they
hiss?
still they still continue to express like to try all the traditions and such. And I hear them sometimes, and they're like, "Oh, it is pretty interesting how A&M is very like culturally different from other universities, especially with our long-lasting traditions and the Wildcats and such."
Yeah.
I think when I first started working here. When I first started working here, the Aggie Moms Boutique they have going on in the MSC. It's all these different Aggie Moms counties have different booths, and they create all these different Aggie themed
Oh Lord,
clothes,
don't tell my mom
like
about that.
decorations, anything and everything you could possibly need that's Aggie themed. And I think it's like cool to see the moms like very like passionate about their student, but also passionate about their local Aggie Moms Club and being able to support them and make scholarships for students and see that. It's a lot of Aggie memorabilia, and so it's a little overwhelming, but it's a fun place to see and a cool thing to like showcase a little bit.
Yeah, that's actually so funny. My mom's going to eat that up when she hears this. She's going to be like, we're going.
Aggie Mom Boutique, it's very big.
I don't know why. I feel like it's just a thing for like Aggie moms to just be obsessed with wearing everything A&M, or at least my mom is.
Yeah.
Like,
My mom too.
The baseball hat, the shoes.
like my mom has A&M shoes. She's like, look at these maroon shoes I got. I'm like, you don't even go here. Like, why are you obsessed with this? But it's just so funny. And I love that. I didn't know that was a thing. I really love that. That's so fun. So, before we go into like talking about different things and like your favorite memories, I want to ask about Parent of the Year.
Yes.
So what is that? Because this is Aggie Parent and Family Weekends.
Yes.
Let's talk about
So
Aggie Parents.
Parent of the Year started back in 1956, actually, and it started out as Mother of the Year. So the student body would, or people would nominate a Mother of the Year. Then in 1974, it's then switched to Parents of the Year. So then you could start nominating couples. But the Parent of the Year program, it's a family recognition award. Each year we highlight that you can nominate any of your parents that you would like. The only criteria is that the nominator has to be a current student. And so we put out nominations in early spring, and we submit all those nominations. And then we, as the Aggie Parent and Family Ambassadors, they go through those nominations and help score them. And then we bring them to our full general body, and then they get to score them as well. And then we select a Parent of the Year through that process. This year, the Parents of the Year are Jacqueline and Christopher Knope. Jacqueline is a professor in Mays Business School. She does accounting. They're both class of 95. And then Christopher is a doctor in the local Bryan College Station community. And so they were nominated by their daughter this past year about their involvement with Aggies across the entire like community, whether that's working with doctoral students or working with Mays students. They really have connected to the Aggie community. They're also very involved in Opus, which is the official name, the Performing Arts
Society.
Yeah. And so they put on the shows. They're very involved in Opus. So it's really just highlighting a couple or an individual person that really has impacted the Aggie community. And they can share about their experience with past Parents of the Year, if you would like.
Past Parents of the Year, we get the opportunities to sit alongside them at different events like brunch and a banquet that we have as well. And they're just so inspiring, and their fire for Texas A&M and their fire for helping others in community and camaraderie. It's really very inspiring to hear their story as a student, to realize like I can give so much back to this world through my passions. And that's like what they've done.
I love that.
Yes, to piggyback on Jamie's responses, it was like a very bliss experience just to talk with them. And they always tell me like, what are you doing? What are your plans for the future, to try and help steer me in the right direction? Like one of the ones, the Stones, I was telling them I was struggling on finding an internship, and then I found one, and I was telling them how nervous I was for the phone interview. And they were just so encouraging, telling me like, just keep calm, remember the core values, and you got this. And then just remembering what he said during that phone interview kind of made me less nervous and continued to create more opportunities for me to keep going forward.
Yeah. So it's a tradition that's been happening for like a little over 70 years. And so it's a great opportunity to like recognize groups, Aggies, and you don't necessarily have to be an Aggie to be nominated, but groups of families that have contributed to the Aggie community and like made this place a better place.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you can gain so many like valuable memories from like working with parents like that.
Definitely.
So like, what's your favorite memory of being an ambassador or just talking with Parents of the Year or just going to family weekend?
My overall favorite memory is not like one specific memory, but it's just seeing the smiling faces on all the families and friends on how they're enjoying just Texas A&M. Like some of them, like the music bingo or the tailgate or even the brunch, how like they're just very happy to be there and just excited how A&M offers all this, like the free stuff, the candies and such for the kids to them feel like a sense of welcome to A&M and making them want to come back every year.
Yeah.
I definitely love Family Weekend, but I feel more of like a interpersonal connection with Parents of the Year weekend. My favorite memory was definitely last year, my freshman year. We just started Parents of the Year weekend, and I kind of didn't really know what I was getting myself into. And I met all of these Parents of the Year who were so kind and lifted you up with so many thoughtful words. And like, if you shared any struggles going on in your life, they were like, oh, like, how can I help? Like, how can I be a part of your life? And so it kind of feels like they're your parents.
Yeah.
too.
Do you have a bunch of parents now?
A ton.
Yeah, so many. My favorite memory, I think it goes along with Julie's. I think it's like seeing the interactions of families and their student and like the excitement of like sharing. Like I like to look around at family yell practice and seeing like them trying to teach their family member a yell and then like trying to learn it and stuff like that. So I think it's like those kind of like teachable moments or also just like talking with families about their students' transition to college and like how it's going and what they're enjoying and whether that's like some struggles or not struggles, just like the highlights. And they're like so excited and so proud for the student to be here. So I like those like little moments.
Yeah, I think it's probably really special to like be a parent or like be an Aggie parent or just like a parent in general. Because like my parents didn't go to A&M, but like to see your kid thriving at A&M. Because I think A&M is so special and so unique in the way that it like really just lifts up students. And like there's so many opportunities for Aggies that you're not going to find anywhere else.
Yeah.
And I think like, especially coming from my parents, like they're just so appreciative of like A&M and like everything is done for me. Cause like if I didn't go to A&M, I would not be doing this. And so it's just like, you know, like little things like that. Like you just learn to be grateful for like the school that you go to.
Yeah.
So obviously y'all are really busy with family weekend, everything that goes on. It's just, that's a really busy weekend.
Yeah.
But are y'all involved in anything else?
Oh, yes. Like my freshman year, I was in the women's water polo team.
Oh,
and
fun.
it was such a fun experience because I did water polo in high school and swim as well. So I wanted to continue that in college. But as my upper classwork started to get harder, I had to step away from that. But I have other opportunities for other things. So not only I've been in APFA for almost 2 years now, from a general member to just a lead ambassador, which is very like a privilege just to do. I'm additionally a HMGT ambassador, which is the Hospitality, Hotel Management, and Tourism department, which is a fairly new major. There's ambassadors like a student council just for that department. And what we do is help recruit new members to come in because since we're fairly new, we try to grab more students to be involved in hospitality. And then we also do brand different like merchandises for our current students to purchase because I know we have a store like sale happening on March 16th that all of our ambassadors created. So hopefully we can get some good sales and such like that.
Yeah.
And then I think additionally, just doing selfless service and stuff like that, like involving like big events or not big, big event.
Yeah.
Doing big event just helps me do an impact of the community because that's my goal to do in my academic career is being impactful in the Aggie community and do selfless service.
I love that.
Last year, I was involved in the School of Education and Human Development Undergraduate Student Council. Very long name, but ton of fun. And you had made like firsthand impacts with the School of Education. So that was really, really neat. And in the summers, I'm involved with Aggie Tennis Camp. And just like Julie said, part of my drive is being an education major. I just want to serve others and I want to give back. And so APFA really gives us the opportunity to do that with Big Event, with Family Weekend, Parents of the Year Weekend, all of that stuff. So that's really awesome. And I'm still involved in Breakaway Ministries.
Oh, love Breakaway.
Yeah.
And they were both
So good.
Aggie orientation leaders last summer, so I got to spend the
yes.
summer with them.
Yeah. It's like, oh, yeah, we did that too.
Yeah. Busy
They're
girl.
not returning, but they did it last
No.
year. It was a lot of fun time with them being on the team.
That's really fun.
Super cool.
So how is being involved in just everything, but especially being an ambassador, how has that shaped your Aggie experience?
Just overall, just being impactful with the university and the students. When coming into a big university, I kind of felt alone and didn't know what to do. And the first thought of me to like join as many clubs as you can. So when I found out APFA, I was kind of hesitant at first, but when doing like the socials and the general meetings and having fun and getting together and getting to know each other, I just found a sense of community in there. And when I started to branch out with other clubs and being ambassadors in other departments and such, I felt a sense of community over there. So having little communities around like your academic career helps me develop as a Aggie of doing the core values of respect, loyalty, and selfless service as well. So becoming one of the top Aggies of just doing as many clubs as you can kind of impacted me.
Yeah.
I completely agree with the sense of community that APFA brings to Family Weekend and to this university, period. I also think that it has made me very grateful for everything this university has given to students. Having a sense of community and meeting new friends through Breakaway, through APFA, and through all these different organizations, you really find your place and find your home in a huge university. So it's like everybody has a completely different experience here, which is so
Yes.
unique.
It makes
Yeah.
like a big university small.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And just to kind of close out, I love everything y'all brought up about how A&M just makes you feel like that sense of community. And like A&M is freaking huge. It is
Yes.
humongous. And so I totally get it. And like I think coming out of high school and like I think initially whenever you come out of high school, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to go to college. Like I can't wait to get out of here. And then coming to college and being like, oh, like I am not ready for this. And just being overwhelmed by like everything that's happening around you. Like it's so nice to find something where you feel like you belong and like it can make a big university feel small. And then like also to like encourage students, like there's going to be orgs that you go out for that you could potentially be rejected for. And that is also okay because there's so many other organizations and opportunities for you out there.
Yeah.
So just don't take it as like, oh, I got rejected from one org. Like I'm never going to find my place. Like, no, take it as like, okay, that's not for me. And find something else.
Right.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of different places. I think they both joined as freshmen and look at them now. And so I'm like, I think it's being able to see what you want to put your time into and what you want to give your time to and finding that community. And it also like what you put in is what you're going to get out. So if you like don't go to the general meetings, if you don't talk to people during the meeting, then you're not going to get anything out of it.
Right.
And I can try to make a fun environment as much as I can. But it's finding that community and does take a step. It takes and like remember y'all's first meeting that you like walked into and you didn't know anyone?
Yeah.
It's a little awkward.
And so like it's trying to find community and like make friends and make the most of your college experience.
Right.
Something my mom told me, which like resonates with me a lot, is embrace awkwardness because it means like change is good and change is new. And joining a new organization and knowing no one like always seems super scary.
Yeah.
But it can be awkward when you don't know anyone.
Yeah.
But then once you meet everybody, then like that's all behind you.
Yeah.
Like, you overcame the biggest part.
It feels like I've known everyone like since I was a kid or something.
Yeah. You know, that's really sweet. And so to close out, I want to ask one more question. So what is your advice to Aggies that are wanting to get involved?
I just say just do it. I know every like student is always hesitant on joining something like something new or something they're used to because they're like, oh, what if the environment's not for me, or what if the schedule doesn't fit, or I don't know if I'm gonna like this one because it's not like the last one or like the last similar club they've been in. So I go with the motto that I learned was I fear regret more than I fear failure. So knowing that even if you fail to attempt to do it, like welcome, like go into a club since because of rejections or something like that. At least for me, and like at least you tried doing it, and there's always next semester or next year to try again. but not doing it because of that fear, I feel like that's more of like a challenge for me. That I'm like, at least I do it. Not doing it, it's like kind of worse than failing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I completely agree, and I think that you definitely get out what you put in. So if you want a A&M journey full of community and friendship and all of the joys of A&M, then just shoot your shot, and you don't have anything to lose.
Yeah.
You can only gain.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's with students to like freshman year, you are starting off, you are learning a new routine, you are learning new classes, you're doing all this stuff. So I think it's being a little bit intentional about what you're wanting to do with your time, and to like take that, if you get rejected from an organization, go look out at other different places. Our organization is connected to a department within student affairs, but like find different ways that you can be. It doesn't have to be just a student org. It can be a part of a department, or it can be work. It can be you working as a desk job at an office. It could be you working off campus somewhere. You can find community in different places, but it's you being intentional with that, and also just asking questions, like going to student orgs, like going to a department and being like, hey, I'm looking for a job, or being like that kind of way to be able to make your experience what you wanted to make it. And kind of saying yes to things of like during Howdy Week, your roommate says, hey, do you want to go to this event? And you say yes. Like just say yes, because you don't know who you're going to meet. You don't know who you're going to see. And saying yes to those opportunities, because like you staying in your residence hall is not going to change anything.
Right.
And like these years you'll never get back. So if you do it,
for
then
sure,
you can talk about those experiences and have that joy. But if you don't do it, then you may just regret it. So
you'll never know. Yeah.
So say yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Wait, that's awesome advice. Well, thank you so much for coming on today. I loved having
you.
y'all and getting to talk to y'all.
So much fun.
Of course. Thank you so much. For more information on how to get involved through the Division of Student Affairs, go to text.ag/createyouraggie-experience. And you can find all episodes of On Air with Student Affairs on YouTube or your favorite podcast streaming platform. Thanks and gig 'em.